Man is social by nature, hence, interaction and communication between human beings is quite natural. In fact, it has become unavoidable. We hold many social functions such as celebration of birthdays, engagements, wedding, marriage anniversaries, appointments, promotion, and so on and so forth. So, invitations become an important part of social dealings. Today, we are here to discuss invitations in detail on my channel, Rendezvous with Reena. Now the question is, what is an invitation? Well, invitation is a kind of a personal notice extended to relatives, friends, acquaintances, clients, or members of public to invite them on social occasions like marriages, birthdays, or other public functions. Could include housewarming party, inauguration of shop or office, deaths, school events, and many more. Invitations are of two kinds: formal invitations, informal invitations. Formal invitations includes marriages, inaugurations, school events, workshops, seminars, conferences. Formal invitations again can be divided into two types, that is formal letter type and card type. Formal letter type is sent out to particular individuals. The examples could be workshops, seminars, and conferences. Card type is when the invite is sent to a large number of people, that is marriages, inaugurations, and school events. Informal invitations includes birthdays, parties, and anniversaries, and these are sent in informal letter type to make it more personal. Formal invitations don't include the name of the addressee. However, invitations to VIPs to preside over a function do carry the name of VIP prominently. Remember, length as per CBSE guidelines is limited to 50 words only. Also note that the English etiquette requires the husband's name to be written first. For example, it is going to be Mr. and Mrs. G. Joseph. Avoid the use of abbreviations for the names of guests, days, dates. However, abbreviation like RSVP, which is Répondez s'il vous plaît, which means please reply, is put at the bottom. The subject matter is centrally aligned. Details such as address, dress code, or any other instructions are written at the bottom, to the left or the right as per the choice or convenience. Let's go through the format of a formal invitation, which begins with the name of the host issuing the invitation. Thereafter, the standard expression of invitation includes request the pleasure of the company of, or request the benign pleasure. Then we state occasion, reason of the invitation, followed by date, time, venue. And in case the chief guest is invited, then his or her name appears prominently, stating that he or she has consented to be the chief guest, or give away the prizes, or grace the occasion with his presence. And then we conclude the invitation with contact details, that is RSVP, and followed by special instructions, which includes dress code, time to be seated. Printed formal invitations are extended during the time of marriage, and here is a sample of the same. So we see children, it begins with the name of the host, that is Mr. and Mrs. A.S. Bharadwaj, followed by the standard expression of invitation, that is request the pleasure of your company on the auspicious occasion. Now what is the occasion? Marriage is the occasion. Marriage of Nivedita with Akhilesh, followed by date, time and venue. Now after this, program has to be mentioned. We just mention some of the main events, followed by contact details, that is RSVP, which includes the contact details. Printed formal invitations are also used for school events, and here is the sample. It begins with the principal, staff and the students. Then the name of the school is given in big and bold letters, followed by the standard expression of invite, that is solicit the pleasure of your company on the occasion. Now the occasion is stated, the occasion is annual function, followed by date, time and venue. Thereafter, the name of the chief guest is given, that is Mr. M.M. Joshi, the HRD Minister of Government of India, will be the chief guest and give away the prizes. And thereafter, we conclude it with RSVP, which includes contact details. Here we see another sample of invite for school event, which begins with the principal, staff and students. Then we mention the name of the institution in big and bold letters, followed by the standard expression of invite, that is cordially invite you. The name of the occasion is given, that is sports and drill display, followed by date, time and venue. After that we mention the name of the chief guest, and thereafter we mention RSVP, which includes the contact details. Miscellaneous details like dress code and other instructions are written at the bottom. Printed formal invitations are also extended for the inauguration of shops or showrooms or offices, and here is one such sample. We see Tanishq Jewellers and Company, they proudly announce it could be the inauguration or the opening ceremony of their showroom, that is Abhushan. Thereafter the date, time and venue is mentioned, and after that mention of the chief guest is there who is going to perform the ribbon ceremony, and it concludes with RSVP, which includes the contact details. Now we come across a formal invite, which is written in a letter format, and this type of a letter format is extended to a single individual. Over here, like we see, the invite is being just extended to Dr. Sona Sen, a renowned educationist, to preside over an inter-school debate competition. Let's go through the format and the content. Begins with sender's address, followed by date. Then comes the receiver's address. Then we write the subject. Subject is very important, wherein we state invitation to preside over inter-school debate competition. Then comes the salutation. Now we write the content. In the content, what are we writing? The English Literary Club of our school is organizing an inter-school debate competition on the topic human cloning should be legalized on Monday, 5th September 2020 at 9:30 a.m. in the school auditorium. So we see the date, time, venue has been mentioned. Then we say that we shall be highly obliged if you could grace the occasion and preside over the function. Kindly confirm your availability. Then we end the letter with a complimentary close. Now comes the informal invitations. What are informal invitations, or what are the characteristics of informal invitations? Well, informal invitations follow the pattern of ordinary personal letters. Now these letters could be written to relatives, friends and acquaintances. The letters are written in first person or the second person, wherein personal feelings and emotions find an expression. The writer's address is also given in the usual place. Salutation generally includes dear plus the name. The date of the writing is given, but the year is generally omitted. The style and the tone is relaxed and informal. Different tenses can be used as the sense demands, and it ends with a complimentary close, that is, yours sincerely. Here is a sample of an informal invite written in an informal letter format, which begins with the sender's address, date, salutation, then the content. Content is also written in an informal manner, which reads as, "You will be glad to know that we are celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary on this particular date at this particular address at 7 p.m. Only relatives are invited for the same and looking forward for you to attend this small get-together. Hope to see you soon. With warm regards, Arun." Next is reply to invitation. A reply to an invitation is as formal as the invitation itself. Now the question is, why do we need to write replies? We must understand, children, it is part of essential courtesy to the host who has extended the invitation. And it is also important to know the number of people attending the event so that the host can make appropriate arrangements. A formal invitation requires a formal reply, and an informal invitation demands an informal reply. Points to remember while writing a reply to an invitation. A formal reply is usually brief and to the point, yet it is pleasant and courteous in tone. We use simple and formal language, and it is usually written in third person. But what do we write in reply? Well, first of all, acknowledge the invitation. Then confirm the details of the date and the time of the function while accepting the invitation. And if we have to decline an invitation, give reasons as far as possible and convey your best wishes. A formal invitation is not signed, but put in a box. For better comprehension, format of a formal reply to an invitation in letter format is herein shared. So we begin with the sender's address, followed by date, then the receiver's address, salutation. Subject is acceptance of invitation. In the content, first we acknowledge the invitation, like Dr. Aarti expresses her gratitude to preside over the inter-school declamation competition to be held on 19th October 2020 at 10 a.m. in the school auditorium. Then she accepts it. She's delighted and honored to accept the invitation. It will be kind of you if she is provided with transport for the occasion. And the letter closes with a complimentary close. Here is the format of a formal reply to an invitation which is declined in letter format. Again, we see sender's address, date, receiver's address, salutation. Subject is inability to preside over the inter-school declamation competition. So how do we begin the subject? We begin with acknowledging the invitation, like Dr. Aarti thanks Mrs. Reema Thakur, the president of the English Literary Club, for her kind invitation to preside over the inter-school declamation competition to be held on 19th October 2020 at 10 a.m. in the school auditorium. Next paragraph. She feels honored. However, she expresses her regret and inability to be part of the program due to prior engagement. She extends her good wishes for the success of the event. And the letter ends with a complimentary close. This is the formal reply of acceptance in card format. It is written in a box. Now over here, we are first acknowledging the invitation and then accepting it. It reads like, Mr. Shashi Tharoor would like to thank the management, principal and staff of Model School for their kind invitation to the inauguration of Book Fair on 15th August 2020 at 10:30 a.m. on the school grounds. He feels honored to accept the invitation and inaugurate the same. This is a formal reply for the decline of invitation in a card format. It is written in a box. It begins with acknowledging the invitation and then declining it by expressing a valid reason and then conveying the best wishes. So it reads like, Mr. Shashi Tharoor thanks the management, principal and staff of Model School for the kind invitation to the inauguration of Book Fair on 15th August 2020 on the school grounds. He, however, regrets his inability to attend it due to prior engagement. He conveys his best wishes for the success of the program. This is an informal reply accepting the invitation. We see it is written in a letter format with an informal tone. We begin with the sender's address, date, salutation. In the content, we first acknowledge the invitation and then accept the invitation. It ends with a complimentary close. The next is an informal reply declining the invitation. Again, it is written in a letter format with an informal tone. Begin with sender's address, date, salutation. Again, in the content, we are first acknowledging the invitation, but then we decline the invitation by stating, however, we regret our inability to join due to prior engagements. Thank you very much for invitation. And we end it with a complimentary close.